committee chair for the report, or the committee for the report. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I'm concerned. The report talks about meeting our international trade obligation, especially in terms of treaties and agreements, and also talks about sending or deploying trade attaches. But I've looked through the entire report, trying to internalize Uganda National Bureau of Standards. Part of the challenge we have, you are talking about strengthening certification locally, I mean for imports. But our traders still face a challenge of certification for export. At most of the international markets, mostly Europe, Ugandan goods, especially agricultural products, are being branded made in Kenya, made in Tanzania, and the report from the traders has always been failure by UNBS to issue certification, especially for agricultural products, meant for international markets and mostly European markets. I'm just praying and looking through your report. Where is the empowerment? Why don't we also look into prioritizing, strengthening UNBS so that it has capacity to certify agricultural products? The traders are meeting the cost of destruction for commodities which fail to meet the standards, especially for European markets. And now that we are in a budgetary process, many times the excuse has been that UNBS says it lacks capacity and readiness, and even it says it lacks the obligation to certify agricultural products. And that has led for many of our goods to be branded from nearby countries, mostly Kenya. And when you go to international markets, most of goods, agricultural products, branded as made in Kenya, are actually Ugandan goods. Now, this denies us opportunity of marketing Ugandan products and also developing Ugandan traders. Let's look through the report and find empowerment for UNBS to certify agricultural products locally here. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Batua.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Through you, I thank the committee chairperson and the members for a wonderful report. However, it gave me deep insight on UDC, and especially the part that money for Luwero Fruit Factory, money for Nyoya Fruit Factory, money for Lila Spring Mill, Bundibujo Cocoa Project, and others is channeled through UDC to facilitate those particular industries. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, at the beginning of this political term, in Busoga, where we are challenged with the sugarcane growing, we sat as MPs, we are 42 of us, including the first Deputy Prime Minister, the second, and others, and we resolved that government should actually help us establish a sugar mill that is owned by the people. The finance minister came and participated. What we saw immediately was a release of about 2.5 billion for a feasibility study. But even when that study has been done, I can see in this policy statement and in the report that the sugar mill that was promised to the people of Busoga is not there. And we know how serious the sugar business in Busoga is. Right now there is a war between the farmers and the millers over how much sugar you can get from 100 tons of cane. Whereas the farmers say it is 10 tons, the millers say it is 8. And it has an implication on how much you pay for the cane. So these are serious things. Who the biggest solver would have been a factory owned by the people. And if you look at the number of trucks that are supplied in Busoga, 2,000 trucks a day, each truck carrying 10 tons. If we are to charge just 5,000 shillings per ton, we generate 100 million per day. And in a year, 36.5 billion is generated. So the money we are requesting to actually put up this facility is money that can be paid back from the farmers and with minimum effort. But it has not been put in the report. You wonder, those regions that are really benefiting, what criteria is being followed? If it was population, the region is the second most populated. If it is tax, if you look at the 10 highest tax-paying companies, MTN being number one, on the list of 10, 4 are from the region. You find Kakira, Bujagali Energy, if you allow me to give it perspective and say Umeme, because it was closed, but to give it perspective, the power it is selling, of course, comes from there. And then the beer company. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we feel we've been very neglected, grossly neglected, to the extent that even the 3 billion.
Thank you. Now, for the record, number one, for the record, the second Deputy Prime Minister doesn't come from Busoga. It comes from Adjumani. Okay, from West Nile. Number two, colleagues, I must tell you, we've made very good progress with the farmers and mirrors from Busoga. Honorable Batua, you know about this. Yes, and I can tell you the progress we reached and the conclusion we reached in this last meeting, which I chaired personally, because I'm not from there, I don't have any interest. Okay? But they harmonized, and on Tuesday we shall sort the sugar bill. So if you want to consult them further, please, if they've changed the position, you tell us. They continue in this same state, but really, after a long negotiation, which was a very difficult one, they reached a compromise with each other, and they shook hands. So I hope on Tuesday we can sort the sugar bill, so that the law we have can at last define a formula, and people start benefiting. Because every day we don't sort out the issue of the formula, it's the mirror who is benefiting. The farmer is not being helped in any way. Yeah? Rob?